All right, greetings YouTube, beautiful mind here. I have that it is that time. Let me let this student in. Okay, so let's do a recap of where we are. So let me see. If this is your first time joining, don't fret. Just you want to do your best to try to. I mean, if you're here, that means you're doing the right thing at the right time with the right people. You're where you need to be when you need to be there. I did have to send out progress reports, and I know there were some students that were MIA, so hopefully they can find their way. If you're like watching from my YouTube, if you're one of my current students, you want to go to Blackboard and use that to get into my Zoom. Let's see. Last week we just did section 1.1. So we're pretty much just going to be doing a section per week until the end. So this week we'll be focusing on section 1.2 and the setup. So a few more points that I need to mention. So the setup that we do, all my lectures are pre-recorded. They're already on my YouTube channel from the beginning of the semester all the way into the end, everything I want to say. So what I'm going to do is rely on those lectures. So I expect you to watch those lectures, take notes as if you're in class, write down any questions that you have, and either email me with questions or just ask me during class time. So we're going to take class time to just like answer either specific questions that students have, and if no one has specific questions, I see your hand. Give me a moment. If no one has specific questions, then I'm just going to work as many questions from the homework as I can. Another update is originally I wanted to use like Alex as the lab component of our grade, but I think Alex is only offered in the fall, and so if I tried to use Alex now, some students their access would run out. So we're not going to use Alex for the lab. I'm just going to let the online homework, those quizzes, that's going to count as our lab grade. That's on our Blackboard. So whatever grade, well, what I'm going to do is. So the homework that you're doing that's linked in the Black Pearson linked through Blackboard, still need to update the grade book so that it should be live updating. I haven't done it yet, but that's the goal. We should be able to do it. Let me see if there's anything else. So we're not going to use Alex for the lab portion. It's just going to come straight from the homework quizzes and exams. It's just naturally incorporated. And then once we do finish the homework on any given week, I'll probably do some factoring practice. So I have some material. Let me see. I have a material where, because I know for like college algebra, factoring is one of those things that you're expected to already know factoring, but I know it gives students a hard time. So because of the structure of our class, we can have time to go through that. I see at least one hand that you can feel free to type in the chat whenever you have a question, and feel free to unmute yourself as well if you have questions. If you don't have, go ahead. My channel is Beautiful Mind Pfeiffer. There's a link. I still need to post the syllabus. There is a link. It should be a link on our Blackboard page. It should be like the last folder. So when you, I'm on break at work, so that's fine. Yeah. Oh, so another thing. So about our structure is that we are doing an asynchronous setup. So what that means is that all you really have to do on a day to day is just check in to get attendance credit. So like how we start class starts at 5, just check in. Once you get into my Zoom, I take attendance as I let students in. So as you get in, that means once you get into my Zoom, that means you got attendance credit for that day. You don't have to stay once you get attendance credit because I am recording all of these sessions and they are available on my YouTube channel. The lectures are available and the homework is available. So like if you, for whatever reason, can't stay, it's totally okay. The main thing is just be in communication, check in through each session just to make sure everything is clicking, you have your questions answered, and if you have to kind of move, it's totally okay. But the main thing is just check in each day. Go ahead. I see another hand. So our class time. So this is College Algebra 1 with lab. So what that means is our classes are on Monday and Fridays from 5 to 5:50, but then the lab component, which is just additional class time, are Tuesdays and Thursdays from 5:15 to 6:30. Okay. Does anybody have any questions from the homework? Are you all so to access our homework? We are using Pearson, but I linked Pearson to Blackboard, so you just basically log into our Blackboard, and the homework should be like one of the first or second folders. You'll see like homework or assignments or whatever. and then it'll be the first link. And then even though it's linked to Blackboard, you still have to purchase full access, and it'll cost you $120, give or take $10, something like that. Okay. If there aren't any direct questions about the homework, what I'm going to do, I'm going to hop over to Pearson and just start working the assignments from this week. Okay, let's do like this, and we have it here. Okay. So again, feel free to either unmute yourself or just type in the chat if you have a question about anything. And we're just going to kind of pick up where we left off from last time. Yeah, so last time we made it through all of the assignments for section 1.2. Those are on my YouTube channel. Feel free to watch that at your leisure. And I'm just going to make my way through these. You're welcome. You're encouraged to like do the homework alongside me. Just know that it'll be the same questions with different numbers, right? So, and my recommendation is to get ahead, get as far ahead as possible, because once we start testing, you're gonna have exams in all your classes, and so you're not like jammed and everything is running together. I've made as much of my stuff available as possible so you can get ahead as best you can. Let me do it like this with my paper. Okay. All right, so let's look at this. This comes from section 1.2, question number 1. It says, find the slope of the line passing through the pair of points, or state that the slope is undefined. Then indicate whether the line passes through the point, rises, falls, or is horizontal or is vertical. Okay, so basically this is just talking about the slope between 2 points. So I'm going to take some notes here. Find the slope. Okay, so here, let's see. This comes from section, oh, come on, pen. Oh, you were working a moment ago. Oh, that's okay. Anyway, so this comes from section 1.2 lines. So I'm just taking some notes and I'll hop over to the tablet momentarily. This is question number 1 from our homework, and it comes from section 1.2, question number 1. I'm going to say find. Okay, I don't like that. Hang on, give me a moment. Let me reboot this. Ooh. It's lagging on my end. So usually when I reboot it, it'll, and I'm missing a lot of students. Let's go back. Let's close this out. Give me a moment. Blackboard, courses, this course. And then in order to access that, I have to go like this. I'm coming. Okay, that looks decent. And then we're gonna put this back. We're working here. All right, I think we're ready to go. All right, let's try that again. So this is section 1. That's much better. 1.2 lines. This is question number 1 from the homework. It comes from 1.2, question number 1. Okay, and then it says find the slope. Okay, I'm just gonna say find the slope. Find the slope. Nope, that's not a question. That's a statement. Come on. Ooh. Find the slope, and then and we have 2 points. We have this -5, 4, and we have 3, 5. Okay, let me hop over to the tablet so you can see the notes that I was taking. Okay, let me see. That looks good. Let's hide this stuff. We don't need all this. Okay. So whenever we're working slope, okay, whenever I'm working lines, I usually like to have 3 formulas ready to go. So whenever I'm working lines, I have the following 3 formulas just ready to go. The first one, we can have the slope formula, so that because that's what we're going to use here. That's the rise over run, which is the change in y over change in x. So that's going to be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That's our slope. And then the second one I like to have is the slope-intercept formula. That's going to be your classic y equals mx plus b. And then the third one I like to have ready to go is the point slope form. You use point slope when you're given a point and a slope, right? That's going to be y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, okay? So I usually just like to have those like off to the side. Hopefully you have a formula sheet where every time you use a formula, you update that list. I'm just going to kind of have these off to the side. Okay. So we're going to use a slope formula. Also, my mentor would say every time you use a formula, write it down. That constant repeatedly writing it down, that constant repetition helps to ingrain it in your memory. So slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Again, that's the slope. So whenever I have a set of ordered pairs, I just like to automatically go ahead and label them x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay. So we're going to do our substitutions. And my recommendation is whenever you're doing substitution, use a blank set of parentheses. Our y2 is 5. The blank parentheses help us to keep track of negatives. y1 is 4, x2 is 3, x1 is negative 5, right? So if we simplify, the top is a 1, the bottom is what, 8? So it looks like a positive 1 by 8, right? So that's our slope. Okay. Okay, so let's go back and answer the question that was being asked. Let's do like this. This is our final result. Okay. Let's see. So let's hop back over here. Yes, continue. Okay. The slope is, we got 1 by 8. Okay. Okay, so now if we were to draw this line because the slope is positive, that means as we trace it left to right, it's going to go up. So the line rises as we trace it left to right because it's a positive slope. Okay. Let me check the chat really quickly just to make sure there aren't any questions. Okay, that looks okay. We're going to go on to the next question. All right, so it says find the slope of the line through the points or state, and then I think this is kind of a repeat, so I'm gonna just do it a little bit faster. We don't have to take so many notes. So then question number 2, this comes from section 1, 2. This is question number 3 from the back of the book. I'm just gonna say the slope, put a question mark, 9 comma 2, and the second point is 7 comma negative 2. Okay, I'm gonna hop over to the tablet. I know, I feel better about this. Okay. So again, every time we use a formula, my recommendation is to write it down. So we're using the slope formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That's our slope. I also like to automatically label these points. Let me see the time. Okay. So then we have x1, y1, x2, y2, right? Let's see. So we're going to do our substitutions. Okay. Let me see. All right, so I don't know about coming late to my class. I might have to make a note about that. Let me see. I might start locking. I think I might start locking out. So let me say this about the timing. I don't mind people checking in and leaving, but I do need people to kind of show up on time. Like I don't need people showing up. Not that this is happening here, but I felt like I need to say this. Since class starts at 5, usually there's a grace period for like the first 15 minutes. I don't know why it's doing that. So what I probably start doing after like about 15 minutes or so, I'll probably lock out the class until the next class. Why is it doing that? I'm not gonna worry about it right this second. Yeah, so class goes from like a class starts at 5. That first 15 minutes you can get in. Once I hit that 15-minute mark, I'll probably start locking the meeting so then you can't get back in. But I'd rather people just check in on time. But you know, I'm gonna try not to make a big deal about it right now. So y2. Let's go ahead and make our substitutions. y2 is what? Negative 2. y1 is negative 2. Okay, so that's a big thing. And then x2 is 7, x1 is 9. I think on top it looks like we get a 0. On bottom, what is that? Negative 2. So then quick, is that 0 or is that undefined? So last time I think we said something like 0 over some number. This is okay. So this is equal to 0. But some number over 0, that's a KO. So this is undefined, right? So is this the OK scenario or the KO? This is the OK. So this is going to be equal to 0. Okay, so with that, let's hop over to Pearson and answer the question. I'm going to hop back here. So what is the slope? The slope is 0. Hope everyone had a good weekend. In the chat, just real quick, like, did your team win the Super Bowl? I didn't watch it at all. I mean, it's pretty obvious what was going to happen. Like, if you know, did your team win the Super Bowl? Like, I didn't watch it, but I was just like, you already know what's going to happen. So I didn't even bother with it. I like blinked and said the Super Bowl started, and then I blinked again. And here we go again, you know. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just sometimes I might lock out the meetings if you come in after the 15 minute, but I don't know that I'm gonna do that. So don't worry too much about that. It just depends. It kind of depends on how I feel. I know that's kind of bad, but that's usually what I do. But best thing is just to be there like at the start of class, get your attendance, and then you can move on. But don't worry about it. Yeah, so I didn't watch it, but you know what the outcome was. I was like, man, that's wild. Like, I mean, I used to think he was cheating, but I mean, at this point, I don't even know anymore. I just don't know. So the line is horizontal because the slope is 0. So, I mean, but more power to him. I mean, like, I ain't even mad at him. I mean, if I could do it, I would. So that's I'm happy for him, the quarterback. Okay, find the slope, right? So here, slope is rise over run or change in y over change in x. Notice as we trace it left to right, it goes down. All right, so that means our slope is negative. How far down does it go? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 5, 6, 7. So it went down by 7 and it goes to the right. 1, 2, 3. So then the slope is a negative 7 by 3. Okay. So no real calculations there right here. The slope is a negative 7 by 3. Boom. Next question. That was it. Very easy. Man, if we get through this too fast, we got like 3 more days. I mean, so what I will probably do, again, I have like factoring problems that we can work on because I know college algebra students struggle with factoring. So if we finish the homework early, then we'll work on the factoring. We have quizzes also that we can work on. And also you can request questions. Like if you were working on the homework on your own and you just could not figure something out, ask me and we can go jump straight there. Find an equation in slope-intercept form of the line that passes through the given point and has the slope. Also sketch the graph. Okay. So let me take some notes here. So this is question number 3. This comes from section 1.2. This is question number 9 from the back of the section. It says find an equation, and let me highlight it like this. Let's do this one. This pops a little bit more. And that is in slope-intercept form. Okay. And then we have 0, 4, and the slope is 6 by 7. Oh, okay. Okay, that's fine. Slope-intercept. Okay. So let's hop over to the tablet. It should be here. All right. Let's see. Okay, if we want slope-intercept form, that's going to be y equals mx plus b, right? So let me just plug in what we have and see what's left over. So our y in this case is going to be 4. The slope is going to be 6 by 7. The x is going to be 0. The only thing that we don't know is our b, the y-intercept. Notice that 0 times anything is 0, so that all of that goes to 0. So then we get that b equals 4. All right, that's our y-intercept. So then the equation is going to be y equals, okay. All right. Let's go style, like this. Okay, let's go back and answer the question that was being asked. Let's hop over here. Okay. So y equals, using x as the variable, use integers or fractions. 6 by 7x plus 4, 6 by 7, nope. 6 by 7x, come on here, it is x plus 4. Okay. And then graph, let me see my time. Okay, we're looking pretty good. I wonder if did anybody do anything interesting this weekend? I went to my grandmother's funeral. That was an experience. And then graph. Let's see. So the y-intercept is 4. So because we have it in slope-intercept form, which is this y equals mx plus b, the b tells us where on the y-axis to start. So this says start on the y-axis at 4. That's our y-intercept. And then the slope tells us how to get to a second point. Once we have 2 points, we just connect them with a straight edge, right? So the y-intercept is 4. The slope is 6 by 7. Let me see. If we go up 6, so that's going to take us to 10. And then go to the right by 4. So we should be at 4, 10. Put a second point and we connect those 2 points with a straight edge. That's pretty much going to be it there. We're going to check the answer. Let me make sure I did it right. Let me go back and look at my graph. Because if that's right, the y-intercept is 4. We go up 6, right? 6 and 4 is 10, which is here. Oh, 7. I went right by 4. Okay. This needs to be 10, 10, 7. 10, 7, right here. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the run is 7, not 4. I don't know where I got that from. That looks good. Let's try that. Save. Check the answer. All right. So yeah, I mean, you're gonna make mistakes. Also, be aware that all of our assignments we get unlimited attempts, right? Our assignments are due on a weekly basis, Sunday at midnight going into Monday. So these assignments were due, what, maybe like 17 hours ago, like Sunday night going into Monday at midnight. But we get unlimited attempts, and we can submit all of our assignments past the due date with only a 10% late penalty, right? So hopefully you can take advantage of that. Let me see the time. Okay, find an equation in slope-intercept form. This is kind of a repeat. So practice makes what? Hopefully you did not say perfect. Practice makes improvement, right? All right. Let's move this. Let's just shrink that down. Okay. So this is question number what? 5. Okay. Let's go like this. Oh no. Okay. So question number 5. This comes from section 1.2, question number 11 from the back of that section. Find an equation. Oof. What's that? Equation and slope-intercept. I guess I do need those guys. Slope-intercept form. Okay. So, and we're given this 3, 1, and the slope is -5/3. Okay. So let's hop over to the tablet so you can see my notes. Just here. Okay. All right. So slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form is going to be y equals mx plus b. Oh, I need to, and I will make all the stuff you see me writing, I'll make it available. I still haven't set that up either. But I'll make a link. You'll see it where you can access the handwritten notes. Okay. Let's see, y equals mx plus b. Okay, so let's do the same thing. Our y in this case is 3. The slope is a -5/3. X in this case is 3. Only thing we don't know is b. All right. Notice you got a 3 on top and a 3 on bottom, so they're going to cancel each other out. So then we'll have 3 equals -5 plus b. Add 5 to both sides. Let me just go ahead and write that. To the left and right side of the equal sign, b equals 8. So then our slope-intercept form is going to be y equals -5 by 3x. Let me not write it that way. -5 by 3x plus 8. Oop. Okay. Let's try that again. Okay. Okay. Let's hop over to Pearson and see how do we do. Like this. All right. Give the equation in slope-intercept form. Okay. So we got a -5 by 3x plus 8. Let me think about it. 3, 1, 3, 1, -5 by 3. Let me check. I'm checking my work again. Oh, x, y. Doggone it, man. I am just full of mistakes today. I found my mistake that quick. Let's hop back over to my tablet so we can see what I did wrong. Man, I'm just like not in it today at all. Okay, so the mistake is here, right? I think I put y was 3 instead of 1. So y should be 1. So let me scrap all this. I'm going to leave the error there and just kind of redo it. So my y is 1. The slope is a -5 by 3. My x is 3. And now we do plus b. Okay, that's better. So again, this 3 and 3 still cancels. We add 5 to both sides, and we get that b equals what? 6. Okay. So then the slope-intercept form should be y equals -5 by 3 x plus 6. Okay. Man, I'm just making so many mistakes today. I mean, making mistakes is one thing, but then the other thing about it is being able to catch and fix them. Okay, thank you. That would have been a disaster. So I just got a notification from Zoom that said, oh, running out of time. We've removed the 40-minute time limit. I'm like, yeah, thank you. That's the only reason I'm doing this. -5 by 3. Okay. So let's hop over to Pearson and try again. Like this. All right. So we said, well, plus 6 instead of plus 8. We should be checking these. I don't know. I'm kind of moving a little bit fast. Let me see the time. So I'm like being a little bit sloppy. And then we want a graph, right? So the B is our y-intercept. That tells us where to cross the y-axis. So it's still going to be a straight line. The y-intercept is 6. So we start on the y-axis at 6. And then the slope is -5. So we go down to 1 and right by 3. So 3, 1. Notice this passes through the point 3, 1. Has the proper slope. Let me hit save. And let me check. Okay, let me check the chat to see. I don't think there are any questions. Usually I get a notification if there's a question, so I'm going to just keep moving. I use the given conditions to find the equation in slope-intercept form of the line and then give us some more information. Okay, let me take some notes. So this is question number 6. This comes from section 1, 2, number 15. Let me check the time. We get out of 50, we got like 20 minutes. This is fine. All right, so this is question number 6. Let me see, I'm just going to say find the equation of the line. Okay. So we got this -7, 0 and 0, 7. All right. Let's hop over here to the tablet. These are the notes I just took. Right here. Okay. Okay, so we have 2 points. I would start with the slope formula. Slope formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and that's our slope. Whenever I'm given 2 points, I like to automatically label them as x1, y1, x2, y2, right? So then if we make our appropriate substitutions, okay, y2 is 7, y1 is 0, x2 is 0, x1 is negative 7. Notice how the blank parentheses help us to keep track of our negatives properly, okay? So then on top, we get 7. On bottom, we get 7. So then the slope is 1. Slope is 1. Okay. So then we're trying to find the equation of the line. So I'm going to use y equals mx plus b. I'm going to choose that second point, right? I just chose 1. So in that second, if we choose that second point, our y value is 7, the slope is 1, our x is 0. Only thing we don't know is b. 0 times any real number is 0. So then b equals 7. Okay. So then our equation, y equals x plus 7. Okay. And we can check this, make sure it works for those 2 points before we go forward, right? So when x is negative 7, y should be 0. Negative 7 plus 7 is indeed 0, so that one checks out. When x is 0, y should be 7. 0 plus 7 is 7, so this one checks out. Both of these worked, okay? So I'm gonna hop back over here. We said x plus 7, y equals, slope-intercept form, y equals x plus 7. Okay, looks good, that was it. Okay, let me see the time. Man, these go fast. They go fast for me. We're already almost halfway through with this, and we still have like a good amount of time, but that's okay. Find an equation in slope-intercept form. Same kind of deal, right? So if I'm just going to say find the equation, this is question number 7. And so like even if you didn't watch the lecture, you can like kind of have this open on the side. What I would do is like just try to work and get ahead, and like if you know I'm going in sequential order, just try to like get ahead. I mean, even better is like if you can do it before class. So then that way of the line, okay? It passes through the point 1, 5. Let me see. Passes through the point and has the slope, right? And the slope is 0, right? Okay. Let me hop over to the tablet so I can show my notes. All right, this is what we were given. So I'm going to just start with the slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. Since we have a point, our y is 5, our slope is 0, our x value is negative 1. The only thing we don't know is b. 0 times any number, 0. So then our y-intercept is 5. Okay. So then the equation of our line, y equals 5. Because if x is 0, I mean, if the slope is 0, then it's just going to be y equals 5. So this is just going to be a horizontal line through y equals 5. Think about it. If it has a slope of 0, that means no matter what x value you choose, y is always going to be 5. Right? Okay. Let's hop over here and see how do we do. Give the equation in slope-intercept form. So this is going to be y equals 5. And if anything is not clear, just you have to either type in the chat or unmute yourself to get my attention. Otherwise, I'm just going to kind of like plug along. So it's just going to be a horizontal line through y equals 5. So there's that one. I'm just choosing 2 points on that horizontal line. I'm going to hit save and check. Okay. So y equals 5, you can think about it like no matter what x value we choose, y is always going to be 5. So you can, let's say, if x is 0, well, y is 5. If x is 7, y is 5. If x is negative 3.14, y is 5, right? Okay, I'm going to go into the next question. Write the equation of the horizontal line that passes through this point, right? So if you're talking about a horizontal line, that means no matter what x value you choose, the y value stays the same. In this case, the y value is 2. So this is just going to be y equals 2. Nothing needs to be written down there. Okay, we are like moving and grooving. A little bit faster than I would like, but that's okay. Okay. Find the equation in line with the given slope and intercept. The slope is 0. The y-intercept is 3. Again, if the slope is 0, that means we're talking about a horizontal line. The y-intercept is -3, so it's just going to be y equals -3. All right, it's a repeat. It's kind of asking the same question, just in a different way, similar to the last two. Use the given conditions to find an equation in slope-intercept form of the line. Blah, 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 blah. The x-intercept is -4 and the y-intercept. Okay, let's write this one out. This one looks a little bit more interesting. Okay, I don't want to keep it for more than no more than 10 minutes. So we'll stop within the next 5 to 10 minutes. I think that, yeah, that's about right. Okay, 7. So this is question number 10. So, okay. So question number 10, this comes from section 1 to 25. I'm going to say find the equation of the line. Find the equation of the line. Okay. Let me see. X-intercept is -4, and the y-intercept is 8. All right. I like this one. Okay. Let's hop over here. Okay. So these are the notes I just took. Equation of the line, right? So they gave us 2 points. Let's put these points in a form that we're more familiar with, right? So if the x-intercept is 4, we can write that as an ordered pair. That's going to be the ordered pair -4, 0. Okay. The y-intercept is 8 is going to be 0, 8. Okay. So we want the equation of the line through those 2 points. So I'm going to start off with the slope formula. That's going to be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Again, that's the slope between 2 points. And I like to just automatically label these x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay. So then if we do our substitutions, notice how this is a repeat of what we've been doing before. Right? So y2 is 8, y1 is 0. x2 is 0, x1 is -4. So then what we get 8 on top and 4 on bottom, which becomes 2. So that's the slope. Okay. So if that's the slope, y-intercept is when x is 0, so our b is 8. I got it from this point right here. The b is our y-intercept. They gave us the y-intercept, so they gave us the b. So then the equation of our line is going to be y equals 2x plus 8. So before we submit this, we can check this one. A lot of these we've done today, we can check. I just realized, I was like, okay, well, let me start checking these in the interest of time. Okay, so when x is -4, y should be 0. Notice -4 times 2 is -8. -8 plus 8 is indeed 0. So that first point checks out. Okay. When x is 0, y should be 8. 2 times 0 is 0, plus 8 is 8. So they both check out. Okay. So I'm going to hop back over to Pearson and check our work. 2x plus 8. 2x plus 8. Oh, nope. I didn't write an equation. Y equals. Okay, let me see the time. Okay, we'll let this next one be the last one. This will be the last one. So it looks like I'm going to need like those factoring. I mean, I have it. I need to make it available for you all, but I practice on factoring. I wonder if I can like do it in Pearson, because I just like the feel of Pearson. I'm gonna try to load those in the factory, and I'll make them for classwork for Thursday and Friday. We'll see what we can do. I just got to remember to do it. Okay. I think I know what I can do. So let's see. This is question number 11. So let's take some notes. So question number 11. Oops. Number 11. This comes from section 1 to 27. Find the equation of the line that contains the given points and parallel to the given line. Okay. So I'm going to say find the equation of the line through the point and parallel to the given line. Okay, wait a minute. I don't think there's much to write. We got 1 comma -2, and the line given is y equals -5. So notice, if they gave us y equals -5, right? Y equals -5 is a horizontal line through y equals -5. So if we want our line to be parallel, that means our line is going to be horizontal as well, right? So if our line is horizontal, that means no matter what x value we choose, in this case, our y value is always going to be -2, right? Because we want to have the same slope but different y-intercept because it's parallel, right? So what's the equation of the line? Ours is just going to be y equals -2. Y equals -2. Okay, so that was just like some reasoning and logic. You didn't really have to write anything. You could have, but it wasn't necessary. I think I said I was going to make this the last one. I think it's okay to stop here. Let me check the chat really quickly to see. Let me kind of do like this kind of stuff really quickly. Let's go paper like this. Let me just see if there's anything else that I need to say before we. Let me hop back here. And let me just see. Yeah, that's okay. Okay. So what I probably will do, since we're not going to use Alex as our lab component, what I'll probably do is because like for instance, this upcoming Thursday and Friday, it's look like we're gonna need some more material. So is he in this class or the next class? Ooh, I'm headed out. I'll probably make some material to load on to Pearson. I'll go ahead and give him attendance credit for today. But yeah, with that being said, we're going to end the session here. And from one beautiful mind to another, enjoy the rest of your day. Take care. Peace.